Nate Hack is a bit of a quirky guy. His dad was Paul Hackett, longtime football coach. And Nate Hack is a bit of an eccentric guy, but considered a really bright offensive mind. Has been a quarterbacks coach in Packers OC with Aaron Rodgers under Matt LaFleur. And the Denver Broncos, of course, will tell you we like his experience. He's got great bloodlines, creative offensive mind. The future of the league is, of course, offense and quarterbacks. And we could use a jolt on offense, and we think he's going to help out our offense in general. We've got good talent. We need to put it all together. All that, yada, 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 yada. This is dangling bait. Think about going and fishing for shark. Think about Quint going out and fishing for jaws. You're taking a big hook and a big piece of fish, and you're hacking it up on that boat, a big bloody piece of fish, and you're putting it on that hook, and you're throwing that out into the ocean. You might be throwing some chum out there as well, because you're fishing for a trophy fish. Aaron Rodgers. That's what their hope is here, and I can't blame them for that. The Broncos have missed the playoffs every year since they won the Super Bowl in 2015. When they have been to Super Bowls, aside from 77 with Craig Morton, they've gotten there with Hall of Fame QBs. John Elway, Peyton Manning. They know what it's like to have a Hall of Fame quarterback be the final piece of the puzzle. That's what Peyton Manning was to Denver when he got there in 2013 or 2012. So this move clearly is made with Aaron Rodgers in mind. Now, if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, is it still the right move? Sure, because we know the Broncos' defense is solid and was very good with Vic Fangio last year. But we know that offensively, Fangio was stuck in the dark ages, had no answer, no solutions for an offense that had really good skill position weapons, but didn't have a quarterback and couldn't put it together. They've got wideouts. They've got a tight end. They've got running backs. They just need the guy to pull the trigger under center. And who better to do that than a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers? If the Broncos landed Rodgers by hiring Nate Hack, Nathaniel Hackett, it's a bold move, and it's a good move. If they hire Hackett and don't get Aaron Rodgers, still makes sense. But the big land here, what they really want, the big win here, is that Rodgers has built a trust and a relationship with Nathaniel Hackett, and that he's more likely to be lured away to a place where he is comfortable. I would also say, I think the way that it ended in Green Bay last weekend makes it far more likely he leaves than he stays. And I would not have said that before that loss. But I had thought going into that divisional game and going into the playoffs in general, this was the Packers' year. They had put it all together. Offense was humming. Rodgers certainly had an I told you so attitude going on this year. He had gotten the power that he wanted. The defense had grown up quite a bit. They got healthy. I had felt like this was the Packers' year. And, of course, it came crashing down. And then you hear Rodgers this week with Pat McAfee, and there's a sorrow there. There is, I don't know. He's a complicated emotional guy. And he says he didn't want to be polarizing, didn't mean to be polarizing. He thought people jumped on the bandwagon cheering that they had lost because of, his political stances or his vaccine stances. And I just feel like this came to a crash and burn this year at the end of a season that should have ended with happiness, and that it ended so sour, and he was so bad in that game, and the offense was so bad, and the way that they exited, I think it just encourages a fresh start. Because I think for Rodgers, the way that at least I read his interview this week with McAfee, listening to it, it felt to me to be a little woe is me, and I wish it didn't go that way. And I don't know, it felt like an end of something. So I think he's more likely today to leave than to stay. And the Broncos getting Nathaniel Hackett certainly would suggest that there's a good reason for him to go to the Denver Broncos on top of good talent that he would have around him.